Coming up this week on Kiss My Collectibles, special guest, collector Mike Wren, talks about his experience on the Kiss Cruise. Want more Kiss? Be sure and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay up to date when we post new episodes.
This is Kiss My Collectibles podcast, but you knew that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Kiss My Collectibles, your source for vinyl, toys, bootlegs, and more. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason Herndon, and with me, as always, is...
Andrew Scambatti. Good to be here, as always.
And joining us again is our old friend, Mike Wren.
How you doing, everybody?
He's so excited to be here. It's like he lost a bet. He came on this show.
No. You know I love this. I love
all
you guys.
the shows I get asked to go on, it has to be this.
Oh, come on now. I'm an old friend.
Yes, an old friend. Mike, if you haven't watched any old episodes, somewhere when Andrew and I were doing Kiss My Boots, we had Mike. We were hoping to have him co-host with us for a while, but, you know, he hates us, so... No, I'm just kidding. No.
Well, no, one of the thing that happened is for a while, the Kiss My Wax was one thing, and Kiss My Boots was another thing. So this whole Kiss My Collectible movement was just bringing everything together. So here we are.
That's right. So Mike is, you know, if you may know him as, you know, a bootleg guru on all these boards and everything. You know, he's a great guy. He's been a fan for a long time. He's seen a whole lot of Kiss shows, more than almost probably anybody watching, I'm sure. And Mike just got home from the cruise, and he's going to tell us the tales of his adventure on Mike's first ever Kiss cruise.
And last, because he's banned now.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Banned. Come on now. I might as well do promotions for them. I'm selling it so well.
You're right. Absolutely. I've seen those.
But before we get to all of that fun stuff, I've got a couple of new little things. Since we're a collectibles podcast, I got a couple of new little things I want to show. We're going to talk about some new merch that just popped up yesterday that's cool to buy, and Andrew's got a little something that he wants to share as well.
Well, I'm going to show this because this is my in transit. So this is my FedEx. This is my solo album RIAA award. It was supposed to be here today, but it will now be here on Tuesday. So yes.
This is what he's talking about.
Yeah, so Jason showed his on the last episode. It looked so cool, and I liked it so much that I got one of my own.
Which might as well use that as a segue and say, so this merchandise that popped up yesterday, a friend of mine had posted in a private message that he was searching around on Sound of Vinyl, and he saw that the Sound of Vinyl, which is a Universal company, is going to release Rock and Roll Over on orange translucent vinyl. And so I took that link and I posted it over at Kiss My Wax, and immediately people were buying it left and right. I probably, just from that link alone, probably sold 100 copies of that record. They should send me one of those damn things for free.
You were like the Barbara Walters of Kiss vinyl collecting.
I saw you posted that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a compliment.
And probably an hour later, Keith LaRue over at Kiss Online popped in and said, "Oh, hey, there's also a bundle on KOL." Great. So posted the link to that. So they're also KOL. I think he said they're selling up to a maximum of 400 bundles.
Here, I'll go into my email and I'll read the because I know it came over last night because I am part of the Kiss Army. And
so am I, and I haven't gotten that email.
It came over. So it says celebrating the anniversary of Rock and Roll Over with a special Rock and Roll Over collection. So it's obviously got the orange translucent vinyl in there. There is a pin, which is the 4 Kiss logos that appeared on the original dust sleeve.
I think that looks cool as hell.
It is cool as hell.
Agreed.
The T-shirt looks cool as hell. The T-shirt, just judging by the picture, it looks like it might be all like platinum-y.
Monochrome?
Monochrome
and platinum-y. Yeah. I hope that's how it turns out, because I think that's kind of cool looking.
Yes, and then if you notice, there's a monochrome sticker in there too.
Right.
So there's that, and then also too, there's another RIAA Platinum Award for Rock and Roll Over, and this one looks cool. If I had seen this one first, I would have bought this one, but I don't have the space to have two. So But yeah, so that's a limited edition bundle. That
There's always space.
There's always space.
No, I'm so
Right behind
low
you.
on space.
Now, he
No.
means space in his bank account. There's not enough space in his bank account.
There's that, but I mean that's okay. But I mean like this I'm not gonna take this. And this is a great shot by the great Len D'Alessio.
Len D'Alessio, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great poster that he did for me. And then right up there I got the New York City poster. But anyway, so you pre-order this. All pre-orders will ship the first week of December 3rd and is guaranteed before Christmas. Or head over to thesoundofvinyl.com to purchase just the orange translucent vinyl. They are saying that is going to be shipping December 1st. So around the same time everything's going to ship, and you can get it before Christmas. So head on over to Kiss Online to purchase that, or head on over to Sound of Vinyl to purchase that.
Amen.
Give
Way
us
to go.
free copies.
You are a good pitch person. Glad I got you on the team.
Yes. Yes.
Just a couple of things. The last couple of episodes, I had blown out the bank account and bought all kinds of shit. Not quite as much as Mike did on the cruise, but I'd blown out the bank account and bought a bunch of stuff. But this time, I just have a couple of things to show. One is very cool to me because he's a good friend of the podcast. But I didn't tell Andrew I had gotten this because I wanted it to be a surprise. But I went ahead and bought one of these.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If I see one, I'm going to get one.
I just got it off eBay for like $15.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me, oh. My jungle love, yeah. Oh, we, I think I wanna know ya. Yeah, what?
What the hell are you singing?
So, and that, which is the same price I guess you can buy them for $11.99 now.
So let me ask you: do you think they're going to do the whole band? Because I think they're going to do the whole band.
I hope they do the whole band. I have no idea, and I've read on the Migo Facebook page. Half the people are saying they're going to, and half the people say they're not. So, I mean, who the hell knows? But Gene is supposed to be coming out in what, wave 2 or 3 or
wave 3, because that's wave 2 right now. And I think the Gene looks a lot less like Bart Simpson, because Paul kind of looks like
agree.
Bart Simpson.
So that is not pretty, folks.
No, looks like Sandra Bernhardt and Paul Stanley makeup.
Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal. Yeah. Hey, the back is kind of cool.
Yeah, the back is all right. The package is nice and all. Just if they'd have done a little bit more with the face, we wouldn't. It probably wouldn't even be an issue. People would love it. But it's got the sculpted hair instead of hair. But anyway, and then this came.
Oh, mine's on the way. Mine's on the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the Crazy Nights book, Danger Zone. Written by Julian Gill, our good friend. Oddly enough, Andrew has a Crazy Night shirt on.
Yeah.
So, detailed exploration of the album, and there's some goodies in here. There's this little thing that he signed.
Who wrote on it?
Yeah, Julian scribbled on it. Look at that.
Why did he write on yours?
So this is number 39 of 50.
Oh, look at that.
It didn't
I gotta
get
check
any
the
of
number
these.
on mine. I had mine hand delivered by Mr. Gill.
That's right.
Hand delivered.
Yeah. And then it's got
that's cool as hell.
Yeah, got the little thing there. And then he also... Yeah. Come on. And then he also scribbled on the inside there a little bit too. So
Who wrote on it?
But anyway, I've read a little bit of it so far, a couple of things. It's fascinating. Everything he puts together is fascinating. So
I hope he does one on Hot in the Shade. I really do.
I do too. I hope he continues all of these, explorations of all these albums. I'll buy every one of them. I think they're great. So I think these were 50. I don't know what the situation is. Is he printing more of these?
I don't know. But
soft cover version of these. I don't know.
I know the hardcover was definitely for The Gathering, which is the Kiss Cruise pre-party. But yeah, head on over to kissfaq.com. It's really easy to connect with Julian on Facebook or kissfaq.com, and you can just find out about all his other projects. Most of his work is also available on Amazon or any of the iBook or ebook store that you can. I did purchase the Elder book and the solo album book from the Apple iBook store. So anyway, so check him out there. He is a longtime published author, so you pick up some of those books. You won't regret it.
You will not regret it.
So some of you may know that I've been working on an unofficial Kiss fan film for quite a while, and as recording this today, it just was released to the masses today, and I finally am able to say that yes, it is me that did it. I'm the only guy that did it, so if anything ever happens, it's all on me, and that's totally fine. I'm a man. I'll take the heat on it. But anyway, it's called The Greatest Show on Earth, and what it is basically what would have happened if Kiss released an in-concert movie in the light of Led Zeppelin's Song Remains the Same in 1977. So basically, it's welcome back to 1977. I set the mood, I bring you back in, and I tell the story of Kiss from their eyes in 1977. And it was such a labor of love to do. It was so fun to work on it. I love doing it, and I'm loving the reactions that people have been giving. And so far, it's been all good. You know, I've been actually pleasantly surprised at how many people just absolutely love it. And yeah, so go check it out on YouTube, The Greatest Show on Earth. There's going to be no physical copies available. You can't buy this. It's only to stream. And if for some reason the stream gets taken down, unfortunately, that's going to be it. I don't really want to break any laws on this. I just kind of want to share something that's really, really near and dear to me. So check it out. Greatest Show on Earth.
Yeah. The intro, I just want to say the intro to it is fantastic. You know, I was right along the side. Andrew was sending me stuff as he was creating it, you know, and, you know, got to check it out, and it was cool to see it just, the intro is amazing. I mean, the whole thing's amazing, but the intro is super killer. So yeah, go YouTube.
It's extremely well done. Yeah, I enjoyed it on the flight down to the cruise. What a great way to start it.
Yes.
So, you know, I loaded it on the iPad, sat there watching it on the way down. Really, really well done. Especially when you look at it in the frame of mind that you know, this really should have happened when Kiss was at their peak back then. So the fact that you took it and tied in all of the period piece news stories and clips and things, it's extremely well done. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And you know, the first thing that starts off, it says, you know, Kiss is their pinnacle. It's never been properly documented until now. Until now. All right, so that's it. That's all the house cleaning. You know, go check out Greatest Show on Earth. Somebody give Jason some money, or at least shop at the record shops that are his clients, so he could still have a paycheck. Because he needs to buy more Kiss stuff. He needs to.
Somebody give me some money.
Yeah. Just write a check. Send him a check.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's get into the main event. We've got Mike Wren on here, who just got off of Kiss Cruise 8, right? Is it 8?
Yes, I can't believe it.
8. Yeah. Kiss Cruise 8, which had our beloved Ace Frehley as a guest, and had Bruce Kulick and his band, and Todd Kearns as a guest, and lots of other stuff. But we're going to let Mike take it away. This was Mike's very first Kiss Cruise. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about how you decided to go. How did you decide to make this your first cruise?
Well, I've wanted to go on all of them, but my kids have events at the end of October every year that I don't want to miss. So while Kiss is a passion, kids come first. So This was the first year that they didn't have anything, and I get the schedule in January, so I knew right away. So I signed up for the pre-sale, got in there, and literally was second or third to the last person in the pre-sale to get in, because they just do random picks. And the person on the phone with me, I guess the pre-sale ended Friday at 5 p.m., whenever that was, and I was in it Friday at 4:15. Oh, wow. So they give you 15-minute segments. So long story short, I got in, got a cabin I didn't really need. My wife and kids were like, forget it, we're not going with you because you and your Kiss friends are lunatics.
Forget it.
So, you know, I had seen all the reports for years and years. Obviously, we know as Kiss fans, it's the ultimate experience, but to actually go down there. So just to set the tone, you get off the plane, get in a cab, go right to the hotel. As soon as I pull up in front of the hotel, there's 20 to 25 people out front in Kiss gear. There's Julian Gill with that fantastic book that I step out of the cab and he hands to me signed. That's the start of the trip. So right there, you knew it was going to be great.
Right.
So you check in, you go to the gathering. You know, we had Vinnie Vincent up on stage with 4 by Fate. You had cover bands there. You had Julian with a table. You had Ken Kelly. You had Bob Kulick, Ken Sharp.
Lydia Chris.
I didn't even get to see Lydia.
Lydia was there.
The place was so packed, you couldn't move. I mean, it was literally wall-to-wall people. The tables were off to the side. You had to wait 25 minutes to get to the bar because everybody was just in super hyped, ready to go mode because the next day you're getting on a cruise. So that was a great start. We all go there, then we go our separate ways, hang out. You know, you meet people from Brazil, from Argentina, from Australia, and immediately you strike up a conversation because we all have that common bond of being psychotic Kiss fans.
Lunatics.
So that's that night. The next morning, everybody has a wrench thrown at them because the pre-sale for the end of the road tour starts the moment we're all supposed to be getting on a boat and packing all our luggage. So the Wi-Fi in the hotel apparently triggered some issue with Ticketmaster with all these hits coming from the same block of IPs, whatever it might have been. Nobody could get in. You choose your ticket using your pre-sale code, and then it would kick you out multiple times. So I was able to get around that and got my tickets to 5 shows because I'm 5 times the weirdo that most Kiss fans are.
And what will that bring you up to as far as shows attended?
That will, by the end of March, be 150 shows even.
150 shows.
So I'm at the end of March. I'll be at 35, and that includes the 2 that I just got. 35.
It's amazing.
It's nonstop. And to tie into the Hot in the Shade discussion, my first show was on the Hot in the Shade tour. So there you go.
Look at that.
Full circle.
So you only have 6 years on me seeing Kiss. That's because I saw him for the first. I saw him for the first time in '96, but I only saw one show on the reunion tour, one show on the Psycho Circus tour, and one show on the Farewell tour.
That's because you were 5.
That's right. I was like, well, I was 11. I was 11. So.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so you're my age, right, Mike? How old are you?
44.
44. So I'll be 43 in December. So why Hot in the Shade? Why weren't you able to attend any earlier?
I was a fan for years prior, for a good 10, 11 years, but I was only 14 or 15 or something, maybe 13 on the Crazy Nights tour. And at that point, heavy metal was evil, and there were riots at concerts, and there you go. See that shirt? I couldn't go to that tour.
Me neither. I was only 2 years old, so I couldn't go either.
I was treated as a 2-year-old because it was heavy metal's evil. We don't have money for tickets. Understood. My parents didn't want to go, and it is what it is. By the time Hot in the Shade rolled around, I think I was 15 or 16, and I was working, had my own money, and figured out a way to get 3 shows on that tour. So
yeah. So, I've told the story a million times. I got to see Kiss on the Creatures tour. My father took me when I was 7. I just turned 7. And but I didn't see another show for whatever reason, and I have no idea why. But from Creatures to Hot in the Shade, I never saw another show. And they came to Nashville every tour. Mm-hmm. Every tour. And I never went.
Mike, which shows did you see on the Hot in the Shade tour, if you remember?
Nassau, June 28th, Meadowlands, June 30th, and the Garden, November.
Wow. And that anniversary just passed yesterday. The anniversary of Eric Carr's last show with Kiss.
And that was a monster show. The end of tour, obviously they're riding the Forever song for the hit, and the Garden was packed. And the coolest thing that I've never seen since was, Leon opens the mouth, the lasers come out, and across the back wall of the arena was Kiss in green laser, the logo, written on the wall. And it was just an amazing, amazing show.
You can't see that because the bootleg that circulates is from like a hard right angle, and like you can almost not even see Eric because of where the filmer is.
It's a tough spot, but I can tell you that the show was amazing.
Yeah,
just
I remember, but I don't remember much from the Creatures show. Obviously, I was 7 years old, but I still have that. Just I don't know what to call it. That anxiety, over exciting feeling. I was in third row center at Starwood in Nashville on the Hot in the Shade tour, and those motherfuckers looked like they were 15 feet tall, man. Mm-hmm. It was unreal how that I've never felt like that. And I was in front row for Revenge at Municipal Auditorium, and but I've never felt the way that I felt when they come out of Leon's
Mm-hmm.
mouth and come down onto the stage, man. And Paul was just running back and forth. It was a feeling I don't think I'll ever get again. It was something else.
Completely understand that.
Yeah.
That even though for that first show in Nassau, I was in the back, didn't matter. It was, I didn't have a voice. 2 days later, I go to the next show. I can't speak.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. And then when the logo comes up during I Want You,
Yes.
forget it. It was Christmas, 4th of July, everything all rolled into one.
It was
And
good.
that's why I go to so many shows. That's why I went to the cruise. Every time it's that excitement, that feeling like this is the greatest thing on earth. This is my thing.
Would you
So
say?
that's-
Would you say that it's the greatest show on earth?
I would say that.
I wonder where I've heard that before.
Streaming now.
It's streaming now.
Streaming
He's
now.
hired. He's hired.
Okay, so you got your tickets. 5 shows.
Yes, sir. And then
All right.
we head over to the boat. Now imagine, I've never been on a cruise before, so I guess this is common. You have a big sort of waiting area.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine a waiting area with 1,000 or more people. Every one of them Kiss fans. Every one of them excited. Every one of them, either really mad they didn't get tickets or really excited they did. And there's just that level of excitement going on, right?
Mad Kiss fans? Nah.
Shocking.
We don't bitch about anything.
No. We'll get to that.
Man.
But you board the boat, right? And there you go walking in. And just ahead of me, in goes Bruce Kulick, right? And then 5 or 10 minutes after him, Ace walks in. Immediately, I'm like, this is a good start.
So
This is good.
I have to interrupt. So Bruce Kulick went in the same way that Ace Frehley went in. Is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Well, I've seen some people complaining early on that they can't believe that Kiss made Ace Frehley walk through the commoner's way to get onto the boat.
I think that's the only way to get on the boat.
It is the
That's
only way to
exact-
get on the boat.
That's exactly what I thought. So,
It's-
you
No other way that I could see. There may be security that could sort of, give you a little bubble to go through, but
Right.
that's where everybody goes. I mean, Bruce literally, I was rolling my suitcase with Bruce 3 feet, ahead of me.
Yep.
And he's rolling his suitcase, and there's no other way to get on. It's not like, they have a special little deck or something for celebrities to get in, or they bring you in by helicopter. You're just another person.
Yeah.
So
thank you for clearing that up.
no problem. It was, and there you go. You're rolling in, and as soon as you step onto the boat, there are speakers with Kiss music playing, and that Kiss music does not stop for the duration of the cruise. It's playing in the hallways, in the buffet, everywhere you go. There's Kiss playing, not too loud, but loud enough where you can enjoy it, tap your feet, and that set the tone right there. It's
And it was
It's
all
Kiss.
just the very best of Kiss, just on repeat. The one very
No,
best of Kiss CD.
it was. This was a topic of discussion on board, where apparently in years past it was only a certain era or certain hits. This was Carnival of Souls to the first album, to Monster, to even
Great.
the interview segment from "You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best," where Kiss tells all.
I like that interview.
So probably the Spotify playlist or something like that.
Yeah, like somebody threw an iPod on and just let it run.
Right.
So you walk on, and as soon as you get into the atrium, there's a screen that's maybe 50 by 50, and there's Kiss on that. And then there's glass display cases everywhere around the boat, at least 24 of them, I think, with memorabilia, costumes, from early on to the last tour. Really, really cool stuff. Obviously, we as fans enjoy. And you're mingling with other Kiss people. You're wandering around looking at stuff. Todd Kearns walks by, and then the Dead Daisies walk this way. Marco Mendoza was literally in every place at every time on the ship. He was
That
in
guy
the
never
hot tub
stops.
watching
That
the
guy
sail
never
away.
stops.
He is constant, and he's constantly partying, and that was the tone. As soon as you get on, you realize this is just a party, and it's all Kiss themed. So you get to your room, you walk in, everything in the hallway, everything in the elevator, everything on display is a Kiss logo with a Kiss face. So immediately you're like, I gotta get that, gotta grab that. All right, I need 2 of these. Oh, the napkins are Kiss. All right, the bartender's turning around. There's a stack of napkins going in my bag. Because it's Kiss. That's how we are. It's just the way we do it. And everybody else there is looking at you like, oh, you got some. Get me some. We just understand that. So you go to the room. You pop the TV on. There's 2 Kiss channels, 24/7. And it's Kissology. It's commercials. It's commercial for Gene Soda. Gene Simmons on TV.
Gene Simmons Moneybag Soda. So I didn't make it on the cruise, but my commercial for Gene Simmons Moneybag Soda did make it on the cruise.
It did.
Congratulations.
Bambi wham.
Yeah.
And Vault commercials. I was looking for Julian because it was the Los Angeles Vault, but I didn't see him in it. Everything. It was Kiss overload, and that's not a bad thing. So that first night, I'm trying to get my bearings. There's people like, oh, I've been on 7 cruises before this, so you're a newbie. That a little bit of that stuff. But I learned very quickly that you go to muster, where you learn, just in case the boat flips over, this is what you do, and you just run out of that and go right to the sail away shop.
I'm glad you said that, because one of my clearest memories of, I believe it was Kiss Cruise 3, where you do, as the boat is sailing away, obviously Kiss is playing acoustic, but right before the acoustic sail away show starts, you have to get your safety briefing, as Mike said. So it's all these people saying, here's what you do to be safe, don't do this, don't do that. And then immediately after the safety briefing is done, people start running to this, knocking people over, and I'm like, man, we just had a safety briefing and now you're over here knocking people over getting to the stage. I'm like, what is this?
That's no lie. They took off, and mostly it was the Brazilian and Argentinian and South American fans, because they, along with the Australians, are the most dedicated. And they took off and stood in front of that stage for 2 to 2.5 hours in 88, 89 degree heat, just the sun blazing down on them, and no break. So they ran up there, and then it quickly filled up. You get up there, and you realize that Bruce and Ace are on board, but you don't think anything's going to happen. And they come out with the shot glasses.
Oh, cool.
So it's a free Kiss item, so enjoy it, because it's one of the few free Kiss items.
It's not really free, Mike. You paid a lot of money to be on that boat. So.
Quite a bit of money, but I'd pay double that if I had to do it again. So Kiss comes out, everybody gets a shot glass, you do a shot, and of course, like the lunatics we are, we take one, drink it, and go back and say, I didn't get one, can I get one, just so you have 2 or 3 with the logo on it. And out comes Kiss for the Unplugged show, and it's like a party. Like, we've all been to Kiss shows. If you're watching this, I'm sure you've been to some. It's laid back, it's Kiss acoustic, it's fun. Paul and Gene are giving each other grief on stage. Eric is, going crazy on the drums, sort of just to annoy Gene and Paul a little bit, with extra fills and, dragging out the end of a song, maybe 10 seconds more. And Tommy's just playing away. And it's fun. If you haven't seen Kiss Unplugged in the last couple of years, it's something to see. It's totally different than the arena show. It's totally a different vibe. And then the sun starts to set, and they bring out Bruce. And the people in the crowd start to really get super, super excited. There's people hugging. There's people really losing their minds, because this has never happened. Bruce and Tommy on stage. So they go up and play a few songs. People are getting more and more excited. If you look around, I'm sure there's tons of videos on YouTube by now. There's decks up above that pool deck where it's just ringed with people with their, country flags or their group flags or whatever, what have you. And they're all losing it. And I think they do 2 or 3 songs. And then Paul says, we got another member of the family here. And that's when the place just erupted. I mean, you saw guys that didn't know each other, bro hugging the shit out of each other. In the middle of the crowd, you had people in tears because out comes Ace. You may never see this again. That's why it's so exciting. And Ace comes out, sits down with Tommy and Bruce, something you may never see again.
Right. And
they rip through a bunch of songs and sound great. I mean, it's unrehearsed. You're out on a ship that's moving back and forth. You got the wind blowing. There's all sorts of things that could be an issue. And they're out there and they sound amazing. So you watch that show, and at the end of the show, Gene throws his bass right into the crowd. There's just a melee for that. And you see Paul hesitate and think, all right, screw it. And he throws an acoustic into the crowd. And it's
wonder who
chaos.
ended up with those.
I don't know. I know it was in the Brazilian crowd because I had a friend that was up there. It was right around her.
I believe in one of the videos I saw, Paul was telling them only one person can have the guitar. Calm down or something like that.
It got a little heated up there, from what you could see in the back, because I'm too old and too lazy to go into that melee. So I just, people went nuts. Paul told the crowd to chill out, and then off they went. And you looked around and said, if the cruise ended now, I'm happy. I just saw a reunion with some rare tunes.
Yeah.
And I saw a solid show. Paul was, there was no backing vocals. He was singing, and he was good, and everything was good. And to have Ace and Bruce come out and everybody sit there and play like a happy family, it was unbelievable. It was one of those moments in history, I guess we'll say, that like, wow, I was there.
That's awesome.
I want to tell you my quick story about my memories of the acoustic set from Kiss Cruise 3. So I was looking forward to this vacation for a really, really long time, been working a lot. So I got on the boat, and my band had played the night before, so everybody on the boat already knew who I was, and they're buying me drinks. And so by the time Kiss actually gets on stage, I am hammered. I could barely stand up. And then the acoustic set ends, and I'm pissed. Why am I pissed, you asked? Because I was so drunk that I was convinced that Kiss only played 5 songs, and I was mad that they only played 5 songs because I had blacked out for so many songs and I had no idea. And I was,
what a way to celebrate!
And I was so angry. They were like, dude, what are you? And it wasn't until I got home and I looked it up and I was like, oh, they did.
I will be honest, there were a lot of people in that same condition.
I'm sure.
Because as soon as they got on the boat, they're celebrating. But to me, I'm thinking, I'm buying alcohol just to get the mugs, the various member mugs. But outside of that, I want to remember every little thing about this cruise.
Goddamn right, Mike.
So,
Goddamn right.
You know, the only thing I did partake in greatly was the buffet, because it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But so imagine now you're on that boat. It's, I don't know, 8 o'clock at night or whatever it is, and Kiss is finished. That, in and of itself, if you had paid good money to go see that show in an arena, you'd walk away saying, man, that's one of the best Kiss things I've ever done in my life.
You're right.
And yet, there I am realizing now, up next is Ace Frehley with the Gene Simmons Band, or the Ace Frehley Band, whatever you want to call it. And he's supposed to play some rare tunes. And then 2 hours after that is Bruce. So you're sitting there like pinching yourself. How cool is this? And I know there's some jaded Kruise fans that go, "Ah, well, Kruise 3 and Kruise 4 were better, and then Kruise 5 this." To me, there is nothing cooler than this cruise. And just night one was set the tone. It was incredible.
Nothing is cooler than the cruises that you go on. Because that experience, the experience
exactly.
is great. Yeah, experience is great.
That's what it is. It's
what
not meeting the...
What about the opinion of someone who's never been on one?
Doesn't matter.
Of course it does.
Your opinion is absolutely valid, and as someone who wasn't on one and now has been on one, I can tell you do everything within your power to go.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not the set list, it's not the band, it's not the former members, it's the experience, as Andrew said. It's meeting people from around the world. Imagine 5 days. You know how it goes now with social media. There's always an argument. It's the president this, politics that, etc., etc. You're on that boat. There's zero discussion. It's all Kiss. It's all pleasant. It's you get into an elevator with someone and, oh, did you see the show? Did you see this? Oh, I like your shirt. Conversation, and then you see them again 2 days later in the hallway, another conversation. There's people that you meet up with one night, and they're your crew for the whole boat trip. You know, and that's what I did with some people from Brazil and Australia. Then I got to hang with Julian. I mean, Julian and I have known each other on the internet for 20 some odd years.
Chat roulette. Chat roulette. That's where you guys met.
No, it was Grindr. Sorry, Julian. It's an easy joke.
Oh, that was great.
We met up, had a couple drinks, hung out, talk shop, you know, and just such a solid dude. I mean, his books are phenomenal. All the stuff he's done with data and details, phenomenal. But just a really great guy, you know, just to hang out and talk. Yeah. And he did that with so many people from Europe, people from Japan. Oh, Alan from Japan. He's a monster on drums, gets up and plays at the Wall of Sound jam session. Just so many cool people. So as someone who hasn't been, buy a little less vinyl, throw a little money in the bank, and make the trip. Even go alone, if just to save money. I went alone because nobody wanted to go from the family.
I would have to go. I'd say I'd have to go alone.
Yeah. Jason, I'd go with you.
I'll go alone. I'm just kidding, man.
So that's just getting to Ace. Now Ace comes out. We know he's going to do a couple rare tunes, and we know Ace and rare tunes sometimes could be a train wreck. But Gene's band, nothing against Richie Scarlett and Chris Wise and everybody else, but Gene's band seems to kick it up a notch with him. and they came out and killed. They did Getaway. What else did they do the first night? Was it Two Sides of the Coin?
I thought they did.
Right.
Did they do Dark Light the first night?
Oh, that's the
Dark
second,
Light,
that's the
second and
second
third.
time. So did they Save Your Love?
Save Your
The
Love.
first night. Yep.
And Ace
I think
sounded
they
great.
opened with Save Your Love, didn't
They
they? Yeah.
They did. And you could see, looking around at people, it's getting a little later. It's been a long day, and you just see, oh, okay, it's not Rip It Out. Oh, this is going to be good. People that weren't aware that there's going to be some rare tunes. Ace tears through his set, phenomenal. You're outside now. The sun's gone down. It's dark. You're on the pool deck. There's a nice breeze, and people are really getting into it. He does the whole set, does the rare tunes, does the smoke and solo, finishes with Cold Gin, I believe. And now you've just seen 2 full shows, Kiss related, and you would think the crowd is, okay, we're a little burnt, we're a little fried. I think Bruce was going on at 11 or 11:30. That place got more and more crowded. It was just as crowded as when Kiss was on. And then out comes Bruce with just an amazing band. Brett Fitz on drums, killer. Todd Kearns is fucking amazing.
Yes.
And then I don't know the bass player's name, but he was a monster. And the harmonies were killing.
He does all the Gene vocals, right?
He does. But then he backs up Todd on a lot of the Tears Are Falling harmonies and stuff, and he's going high register, low register. He's everywhere. And Bruce is just a monster, obviously.
He really is.
That's day one. He's always been that incredible guitar player. And they tear through King of the Mountain, a Crazy Nights medley, X and Sex, Rock Hard, which sounded incredible. Hot in the Shade tunes, Little Caesar.
Rock Hard?
Rock Hard. Dude, it sounded...
Yes. Oh, it was amazing.
And then Sword and Stone.
Okay, you got me there. That was cool.
It was beyond cool because the harmonies were great. And here's a song that Kiss never released. It was released on, I think, the Shocker soundtrack, right?
Yeah, it was
with whatever that band was. But
Bonfire.
Bonfire. Very good.
Yeah.
And it never really went anywhere. There's 1,000 people or more on the pool deck singing along. And you could see the guys in the band kind of like, wow. Like, we know we're diehards, but maybe they didn't realize it. And now it's 1 a.m, and you're on a high. You're bouncing off the walls. You just saw the most amazing Kiss show, and then Bruce and Ace, and then you go back to your room and realize, I get to do all this all over again tomorrow. So
that's awesome.
That, as day one, just set the tone for the rest of the trip. The next day, you dock in Key West. It was a little more low-key. You meet more people. I don't even remember what I did the next day. I don't know if that was the Paul meet and greet or what, because I purchased a Paul guitar, and typically he'll do an unplugged segment, but they sent an email out shortly before the cruise stating that he, to preserve his voice, he'll do just a meet and greet and a Q&A. And it was a great Q&A. Julian and Nils were next to me over here. I sat with my friend Claudia, and Ken Sharp sat with us right there on the bench.
Wow.
Asked a question of Paul. I mean, it was a totally immersive Kiss experience because you got people you have Ken Sharp, who obviously is a fantastic writer, and is always has such good things to say, and actually has some great CDs out. So go pick up his CDs. I think he has 2 at this point. There may be more. I just picked up the latest one on the boat, and really, he's just a great songwriter. Really good melodic poppy hits, and smart guy when it comes to the music business. So that's day 2. You're hanging out with Paul Stanley. You get your guitar signed. You take a picture with him. You get your personal items signed. Keith and Jill ran a really tight ship. Everything moved quickly and nice. And again, now you're 2 days in. There's multiple bands playing all over the ship. There's bars to go to. There's Kiss, lip sync, Kiss karaoke, Kiss, all this sort of stuff going on. And you're like a kid at Christmas for a Kiss fan. So, and that's just day 2. So you've already had all this, and you could die happy. It could dock and go home.
Right.
So then the next night, I think, was the first indoor show. And I didn't have tickets to that. You're only allowed one of the indoor shows as a guest on the cruise. Everybody can go see the Sail Away, in case you're not familiar, and you can go to 1 or 2 of the indoor shows.
Because the size of the theater won't hold the capacity of the boat.
It's a 1,000 seater, and I think some people on the boat actually don't get tickets because there's just not enough capacity. So I knew there was some discussion of that going on.
Do those people get a discount off of their?
I think $250 off if they don't go to the show. Which, listen, I was looking for a ticket for the first night. I don't know how that works because it's all part of your door key, but unfortunately I couldn't go. But then I pop on the TV, and there in the room is the show. So I watched the show, and I see that they're pulling out the End of the Road set list, which was 20 songs, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Was really well done. They sounded great. They were good for saying that. At one point they said they didn't rehearse. Other point they said they did. I don't know. It sounded good to me. Granted, I did want to hear some rare tunes. That's as a fan on the cruise, we are the diehards, so we know, if they pull out Tonight You Belong to Me or Sweet Pain or something, we're not going to sit there and scratch our heads and wonder what that is. We're going to lose our minds and jump up and down and cry and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate that we didn't get that, but who cares?
Well, on Kiss Cruise 2, they really didn't do any rare songs. They did all those songs from Monster for the very first time on Kiss Cruise 2.
And some of those songs have never and will never be played again. So that's pretty rare.
So at the time, because I think right after Kiss Cruise 2, they went to South America, and they were doing the same set in South America. They were still doing like Long Way Down and All for the Love of Rock and Roll. They were still doing those songs. But
they did a few, but those were new at the time.
Yeah.
So it's something different.
Yeah,
but again,
it was still. Yeah, listen, I didn't complain either. I thought it was cool as hell. And then obviously on Kiss Cruise 3, they opened up with Anything for My Baby. And I was like, holy shit. But yeah, no, it was still cool. I thought the show looked really cool too. You got to see the costumes for the very first time too, the new costumes.
Absolutely. And that was the thing. Watching it on the small screen didn't do it justice. But you knew the next night you were going to go see that. So you could have watched it in your room. You could have gone to various clubs or bars or the atrium and watch on the 50 by 50 screen or whatever they have there. So there was no lack of fun. Like, it's not like you were sitting outside wishing you could have been in. It was everywhere on the ship. So you were enjoying the show. And granted, people have complained about the set list since they got off the boat. On the boat, I heard zero complaints. I did hear a few people, not a complaint, but one guy did yell out during the show, "What about the set list?" Very clearly. But
when Paul asked somebody to tell a joke, was that what it? Somebody tell a joke. What about this set list or something?
And it was a quiet moment, where there's a lull, and you heard people laughing at this guy. I don't know who he was. He sounded Australian.
As much as I don't want to make fun of Kiss at all, I'm not that guy. That's a good singer.
I hope that appears on a bootleg. I really do.
That's a good singer.
Well, everybody had their cameras out, so there's no doubt you'll hear that because it was very loud. But again, so the show was tight. It was good. Everybody was losing their minds, jumping up and down. And think about it. You're seeing Kiss in full gear with lights, lasers, and everything in a 1,000-seat theater.
Yeah.
They could literally come out and play Peter's solo album backwards for 2 hours, and it would be the best show ever.
I would love that.
Backwards?
You'd be the only person. The rest of us scratch our heads, but so now we have all that. And again, I sound like I'm getting all excited because it's fresh in my mind. It just ended the other day, and it really was one of the 150 shows I will have seen by the end of March, and nothing tops this.
Well, this is exactly why I wanted to have you on, Mike, because I've been following you post in these places, and I've been, reading how just truly excited you were. And I said to Andrew, we got to get Mike on the show because I wanted to tell this, because your love for Kiss as a parent. And it's really cool. So I'm glad you came on to tell the story. So keep going. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, I did just share everything I could on Facebook and whatever social media, and a lot of people that knew me growing up when I was little, would inbox and go, "Man, this is great for you. You were never not the Kiss guy from 5 years old on, right. And the fact that you're still having that excitement and that joy that you did when you were 5." Is great. And most people our age don't have that. Most people like, "Oh, I'm an adult. I can't enjoy it." Fuck that.
No, fuck that.
Agreed.
Go out and have fun. I mean, I don't care who's in the band. It's Kiss. It's what it was to me when I was 5, when I was 10, 15, 20. It's still the greatest thing, greatest show on earth.
Sing.
Speaking now.
Ching.
But honestly, it everything was fun. So Kiss performs, right? You watch it. I watched it in my room. I run out, and 20 minutes after Kiss finishes, Ace hits the stage out on the pool deck. So everybody's rushing from the Kiss show to see Ace, and nobody's tired. Everybody, it's late. Everybody's still excited. They're partying, and Ace pulls out Dark Light, and man, there were people losing their minds. From the first riff, you saw, like, we had heard that he was going to play it, but
Right.
a lot of people didn't know. And you just see people looking at each other like, is that what I think it is? And then when they start rolling into it, just insanity. And it started to rain. Nobody left. Everybody's out there. They're still covered in confetti from the Kiss show, the ones that came out. They're sweaty. They're wet now from the rain. They look like hell. There's makeup running off people's faces and stuff. And they're out there in the rain watching Ace just kill it with that band. And, two sides of the coin. Could you ever imagine 1,000, 2,000 people singing along to Two Sides of the Coin or Dark Light?
No, never.
That was worth the price of admission in and of
Goddamn
itself.
right it was.
I've heard 3 sides so much that I'm like, oh, they got the name of the song wrong because
Well, I did run into 2 of the gentlemen from there, from that podcast, and again, it was just great to see people. Mark, I ran into and talked to a couple times, and then Tommy Summers, who I really don't know, but I said hello to him, and just it's such a pleasant time. All this is happening.
Was that Tommy's first cruise as well? I haven't listened to the review, but I think that was Tommy's first cruise as well. I know Mark's been on all of them.
Mark is
But
Mark
yeah.
is
I think
on
that
every
might have
one.
been Tommy's first cruise as well.
I think so, and luckily he was there because he took some great photos. Tommy,
Oh yeah,
is the camera man, and I've seen just a few of them online, and it's fantastic. And that's the cool thing too. Everybody's filming, everybody's sharing, and it's not that typical concert experience. If you ask somebody to move, maybe you have someone, a child with you or something, and the person in front of them is blocking the whole view, and you ask them to move, and you get a fuck you,
Yeah.
Everybody was gracious and friendly, and it really was like a communal vibe, right? And now we're into, this is the 3rd night. Kiss finishes, Ace comes out, kills it again. It starts to pour rain, so everybody heads inside just after Ace is done. And there's bands playing all over the ship. And each one of these bands, Beth Blade, Vintage Trouble, who is one of the best bands I've seen live. Vintage Trouble was phenomenal. I'll get into that later because they opened for Ace. But all these other bands played rare Kiss tunes. So you're walking down, towards the elevator, and you hear a band playing Tomorrow in the distance.
that's crazy.
And you hear 150 people, it was a small space, singing along to it. I mean, you never see that.
No,
You never hear it. And it was such a cool experience. Like, all right, I'm going to go to the buffet, grab something to eat. Here comes a conga line of guys from, like, Argentina with small guitars and ukuleles doing an entire Kiss show, doing Parasite, doing Tears Are Falling, going around. You could see the staff on the boat kind of like, all right, well, that's a little weird, but okay. And people getting up from their tables, with a mouthful of God knows what we were eating, singing along. And this is at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe. And so that's night 3.
Okay.
Right? I'm sure I'm missing a few things, but was it that night? No, it wasn't. So one thing I missed, it was night 2 that I met Paul, and he was a gentleman. And part of that deal was when you purchased the guitar I purchased, which was the Kruise guitar, and I'll send you guys photos, you get to bring a +1. So I went on Facebook and put it out there. Apparently people sell their +1s in some of these cases.
What?
I put it out there, and I got a million different, probably about 120 responses. Some of them odd, some not. And this one woman, Brazil, from Rio, real sweetheart, real nice person, inboxed me. She loves Paul. She hadn't met him. She had taken the picture with him on the boat previously. But apparently the picture is line up for 3 hours, stand for 10 seconds, take your picture, and get off the stage. So it's not really a meet and greet. So she's truly a diehard Paul fan and Kiss fan, and it's her second or third cruise. So I picked her, and we go in to meet Paul, and I had just met Paul a few months ago at an art show. So I got my picture signed, and what I did was I gave up one of my autographs to her. Originally, I hadn't done that, but I felt bad realizing, I don't need this. So she brought the hotter than hell Brazilian pressing that she got from her brother, who turned her on to Kiss years ago. And she got that signed, and I stepped back and said, you speak to Paul. This is your moment. You do this. I'll get my autograph and my guitar signed, and we'll take our picture. But she kind of froze, and I just, put the two of them together, and they talked, and he was very gracious to her, very kind, and she had an amazing time. She hugged him, and smile on her face ear to ear. So
very kind of you, Mike. Very kind of you.
I tell you what, it was good karma because some good things came of that after the fact. So that's night 2. Morning 3 before the Kiss indoor show, Mike Brunn, who we all know, invited me along to meet Gene. So he picked up a stage-played bass, looked phenomenal. You go in and meet Gene. Now think about it. This is all Kiss fans on the boat. Gene's doing a million different meet and greets, a million different things. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So you would think they rush you through. So myself, Mike, and 3 or 4 other people go up and meet Gene. He spends 15, 20 minutes talking to you, talking to everybody, shaking hands, joking, laughing, signing things, asking questions. And he does this for hundreds and hundreds of people on the boat. I mean, it's amazing the time that he dedicates to these folks that come to see him.
Yeah.
That was my morning, the third day. And then that night, obviously, Kiss did the indoor show, and I saw Ace. Fast forward, and I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I'm still...
No, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So we go to the 4th day. I wake up that morning, and I'm asked, would I like to go to the Gene Master class? So I go into a small lounge. It's a very small lounge.
I think
go
it was
in, set up
the Spinnaker. Is that where
Spinnaker.
it was? Spinnaker?
And which is a very cool little place. You would never think you'd see bands in there.
What do you mean you were asked to go? I mean, who asked you?
Mike Brunn was a VIP
cool.
because he's a bass, and he asked if I'd like to go. I think it might have been open to the public, but the front area was just for folks that were, I guess, that had the Gene wristbands, right? So I go in, I set up camera to film it because Mike's daughter was up there with the band. There's 15 or so people that bought basses, and Gene comes out with a guitar, and they start working on a song. Gene's staff comes around. They see the camera, very friendly. Christina, absolute, just sweetheart, great person. Again, Paul and Gene's staff are just great people. They really got stuff done. They were very accommodating, and really, it's just such a smooth thing. So you watch Gene works on a song. He starts pulling in people from the crowd. You had some woman just writing down lyrics. She had nothing to do with the bass purchase. He's like, you know what? Just come up and sing. She's like, I don't know how to sing. He goes, doesn't matter. Just come up and sing. And in about 2.5 hours, they go from having nothing to having a fully recorded song with vocals, and he provides the multi-track recording to each person there, and they can go out and copyright it if they want.
That's
and
awesome.
now have their song that they co-wrote with Gene Simmons.
Wow.
It was such a cool experience because he's joking with the crowd. He's talking to people. It was, if you went back and told 5-year-old me that you would spend 2.5 hours 10 feet from Gene Simmons as he's just hanging out and being just a regular guy, I would have fallen over. It's unfathomable. And there you are. And so that was the start of that day. Then you go on to, I forget who I saw. I think the Dead Daisies played after that. It was a couple other bands, and obviously they are just amazing.
They are.
As a band. They came out and did Watching You, and then closed one of their sets with Larger Than Life.
I heard
Nice.
that. Yeah.
And every song they do, they did some Deep Purple. They did a little snippet of Rock and Roll All Night, a couple other things. They're a monster band.
Yeah.
With monster performers in it. Marco Mendoza is everywhere. He's literally at all 4 corners of the ship at all times. Doug Aldrich is one of the best guitar players out there, and he's up
really
there.
is, man.
Oh, and Karabi, obviously. Karabi's a beast, up there singing. So then it's time for the Kiss show, my Kiss show. So here's the moment. I go in, and because I was late in the pre-sale, I don't have a seat. I have a taped off square on the floor behind the seats, and I can't stand in it because the Kiss production office door is there, and it opens 300-400 times a minute. So I stand there. I'm getting slammed with the door with Wren coming out, with all these people coming out. So at first I'm like, oh, come on. I mean, I couldn't have a worse seat. I'm in the hallway. I'm not even in the venue. I'm in the hallway.
Oh my God.
So I'm a little concerned. But I tell you what, as soon as Kiss walks on the stage, it's a 1,000-seat theater. I could be another 30 feet back. I would still be technically in the first 10 rows on the floor anywhere else. So you're right there. Kiss comes out and plays a monster show. All standards, but they all sound great. They're more laid back than an arena show, so you get more of a personal vibe being there. And the confetti and everything blows up. People go bonkers. There's, again, people crying, people jumping up and down. There are people that don't have the opportunities that we do here in America to see Kiss all the time.
That's right.
That are just there. And there wasn't a disappointed person in that room. I don't care what they played. It was the show to see, and it was amazing. They were on fire. Everybody played great. And the costumes, or the outfits, as we should call them.
Uniforms.
Looked bad. There you go. Uniform. They looked awesome. The jean costume, the pictures don't really do it justice that are out there now, because it looks like a mix of Destroyer, Monster, and Unmasked. And the boots, if you get a close-up on the boots are the Dragon boots times 10, right?
Yeah.
So that looks badass. Eric comes out, he looks like he's paying homage to Hotter Than Hell. So he's got just cool leather, sort of setup that looks a lot like Peter back in the old days, right? Paul is sort of a mix of a couple different things, and not over the top. So it's easy for him to do what he has to do in it. And in Tommy, when I first saw the Tommy pictures, it was hard to really get a feel for it, but I'm loving it. To me, it's like, it's like 79, 88,
right,
but Tommy's version. And his boots all mirrored up on the bottom. It just looked cool as hell. And again, the 5-year-old me is like, new Kiss, new costumes. They're right there. 4 days in, I'm exhausted. You get 4 hours of sleep a night. I'm running around to see shows everywhere. I've put so much bad food into my body that I should be dead, and I'm losing my mind. It's still the greatest experience. I was losing my mind. I put the camera down because I was taking pictures, and I'm jumping up and down with this guy next to me who's from, I don't know, somewhere from Australia. There's a guy from Sweden over here, and then 2 people behind me that didn't speak English. I don't know where they were from. It didn't matter. We were all just looking at each other like, this is where we should be. And it does not suck. It really does not suck. It is the coolest experience for any Kiss fan. And so the show finishes, you leave, and who do we get? We get Bruce. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Bruce. Jesus, I'm lost. Bruce was before that. Bruce was before Kiss.
Bruce was before the Kiss. Oh, wow.
Bruce was on the pool deck. Jesus, see, I'm all over the place. I apologize. This is why you have me on every 3 years, because I'm terrible.
Has it been 3 years?
No, I think it's been a year and a half, but whatever. Yeah, Bruce came out and he changed his set list up. He did the Carnival of Souls medley.
Right.
I know that some people don't really appreciate that album, but man, did it sound good. It sounds heavy. They came out and they were super, super tight, and they ripped through, I think, 4 songs from that album, in a medley, and it was fucking great. And he did Forever before that, did Sword and Stone again, changed up the set list a little bit. Turn on the Night was the final song.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that
Nuts. It really, really was phenomenal. And then Kiss obviously was after. Then after Kiss, you're out walking around the boat, and again, there's bands playing in different venues. I go to a Kiss karaoke, and there are people in costumes there that apparently took like 6 or 7 suitcases on board because they had a costume for every year.
Oh my God.
A Gene Unmasked, who then he also had a Gene Love Gun, a Destroyer, and then I don't know if it was a Creatures or the original, with the skull and crossbones sort of thing. But he had one of everything, and he wore it each different night, a different one each night. And then they go up to lip sync and do the karaoke, whatever you want to call it, and they're spitting blood on stage. stage.
Wow.
And you can staff are like, I don't know about that one. Just a great time. So now it's 2 a.m. You're walking around. The next day, the cruise is over, and you're chatting with people. And at this point, one of the cool things, you guys know Ken from Kiss Pick World.
Yes.
Yes.
So Ken and I don't really know each other, but again, this by me giving away that +1 with Paul, so many people came up to me and were like, "Hey, that's a great thing you did." Just started conversations. Ken walks up to me as I'm walking around the boat, and he said, "That was a class act," and just hands me a stack of picks.
Oh, wow.
Like, I didn't have to do that. Such a really nice and genuine act. And there I am with a stack of picks, like, man, it was such a pleasant experience, start to finish, with everyone on the boat, the staff, Kiss's staff, Kiss's individual member staff. I'm sure I'm missing a million points, but the whole point of this is, if you have not gone, go. Just go. I don't care if you have to share a room with people you don't know. Some of the rooms or cabins might be the size of,
Yeah, but how much time are you actually in the cabin? You're not really in the cabin that long.
You're there to sleep.
I was in the cabin
And
to
bang.
sleep. And, well, not for some of us. But my wife might have an issue with that. But well, I will say this: the steward did come in while I was in the shower, so I kind of got a little close to getting some action.
Oh, I remember you telling that.
And that's no joke. Apparently he had knocked on the door. I was in the shower, and he opened up the door to the bathroom, and there I am. There he is.
And he was like, "Do you
Did
like-"
your eyes
He
lock?
was like, "Do you
That
like what
moment,
you see?"
I heard Shandy play, and
Yeah.
but that guy came up to me. He saw the guitar that I had purchased in the room, and he asked if I was with one of the bands, and I said, no, I just bought this. He goes, Mr. Gene Simmons gave me some guitar picks, but I don't play guitar. Would you like them?
Oh, cool.
Sure. So he comes in the shit on the bed of 3 Gene picks. I'm like, so I left him a little something for that. See, it was just such a cool vibe. And as part of the show with collectibles, there's also that part of it. So
There you go.
show up the first night, you check in, do what you have to do. You come back after the concerts, there's a gift on your bed. So the first night, I didn't open it, but you can see photos online. It's a Kiss Cruise 8 flag, sort of like a silk flag.
Very cool.
Not going to open it.
Yeah, sure. No.
That's what we do. And there's all paperwork, like showing, a schedule for the next day, what the plans are, things to do each day, and they have Kiss logos on them, and so of course you save all that paperwork.
Right.
As the psychotic fans we are. So the second day you go out and do all your stuff, and you come back, and this is on your bed there. It's sort of like a travel lunch bag, sort of freezer bag with the logo there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Move it
That's
up
cool.
some. Yeah.
A little higher.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Look
that's
better
great.
with that face, right? So that's there, and you're like, wow, this is very cool. We're getting Kiss gifts every day. And then you don't get anything for a couple days, which is fine. I mean, look what you get.
Right.
And then the final night, there's always a gift, apparently, an autographed, and everybody gets back to their room. There's nothing there, and there's some confusion. So apparently Kiss gives you this deck of cards and some dog tags, which I have over here. It's just a sealed Cruise deck of cards. But what you also get are 4 signed cards, one of each member, on sort of this sort of backing where it's almost mounted on there with a little card that mentions something about the cruise. Those of us that were either not 8-timers or not non-U.S. residents didn't get them yet. They'll be getting them in the mail. So those that had to deal with customs, if it had to be mailed, Kiss didn't have enough. They made an announcement. They apologized, which is fine. It's an autographed item that's on top of everything else.
Right.
Nothing to complain about. So for those of us in America that were not multiple cruise guests, over the years, we didn't get it. It'll be shipped to us. But think about it. Now, some of you folks that are watching this might see the complaining, might see the whining about set lists or the gift or this, that, the other. Trust me when I tell you, not a person on that ship was complaining about a damn thing from the point we got on to the point we got off. It was everything Kiss all day, they were incredibly accommodating. Anytime they were in the hallways and met people, they'd take pictures. You'd see Eric Singer walking through the buffet, Tommy in the hallway, Bruce was everywhere, and all the other bands. If you wanted a picture with somebody, you could get one. You didn't have to buy a meet and greet or anything like that. People did complain about getting the Kiss photo done, but it was made from well before this went on sale that there will not be a group photo this time.
Right.
Which is fine, because you think about it, you went online 2 hours to go stand there for 10 seconds, take a picture, and go. Kiss is waiting there in full gear for hours. So if they can spend their time doing other things and providing more bands and stuff to occupy our time, go for it. I see nothing wrong with it. A picture with Kiss is cool. A 5-day cruise with 2,000 of your best friends and the greatest music on earth, you're not going to top that. And a picture does not make a damn bit of difference. So I know I've been long-winded, but if you are a fan and you have the means to sign up for the pre-sale at kisskruise.com with a K. And while you're streaming Greatest Show on Earth,
yes.
And get there, get on the boat. It's not expensive for what you get. If you compare it to traveling to concerts and buying tickets and all that stuff.
It's comparable to other cruises, though, other cruise lines.
It is, but I'm not a fan of, Chris Jericho fan, but I'm not going to be super excited about that sort of thing. Whereas if you with Kiss, I'm the guy that'll travel 500 miles in one night to go see Kiss in New Hampshire and drive back the same night, no hotel, because the next night I got to drive 400 miles the other way to go see them, which I'm doing again because there's nothing better. Some people like to go to plays on Broadway. Some people like to bet on football games or something. For us, Kiss is the experience, and
that's right.
Hey, you should come out to Cleveland, and you could hit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I won't be in America. I'll be away.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me. I forgot about that.
And that was pure panic. When the Kiss dates went on sale, I'm on vacation through March 19th. My heart sank. So, God, they're getting closer to New York, and I get back from Europe on the 19th, and the first Kiss show is the 22nd. So, thank God. Because that week after that, I have 5 shows, I think, in a week's time. So yeah. Get on the cruise. The merch table had tons of cool stuff. The vault was there to play with. You could check it out and look at it.
You didn't buy a 5th one?
No. I talked to the guy that was behind the table. There was this guy Jeff, who I think does customer service for the vault, and we had actually exchanged emails. And very friendly guy. Keith was running around doing vault experiences and stuff, so he was, talking to people. Again, really nice guy.
Love Keith. Keith's a good guy.
That's one of the other cool things is there wasn't a bad person on board, at least in my experience. You're dealing with people that work for the band that are being hounded by super fans all across the boat. And every time they're incredibly accommodating and friendly, from Jill to Doug to Keith to Christina to Patrick to all the people that were involved. It amazed me how good they were with everyone. And they have really busy schedules behind the scenes that you don't see. So that adds to the excitement of it. Whether you purchase a guitar or a bass or you don't, you're going to interact with the band and the band's people on some level, and you're going to have a good time, no matter what. And all I can say is do it. You will regret not doing it. I will never miss another one, God willing. And my kids are done with all that band stuff, so thank God I can go without any guilt. And again, it's just the coolest experience. I can't say enough good things about it, other than just do it and you'll understand.
It's awesome, Mike.
You gotta go.
I know I've got to. I should.
So we'll go. We'll be roomies.
I got to figure it out, man. I got to figure it out.
Get in on the pre-sale, sort it out.
Yeah.
And my thought is next year there will be rare tunes in the electric set because in the end of the road tour, so maybe I might want to change it up. Boredom for them for playing the same song.
Sure. Yeah, maybe.
And
yeah.
I mean, honestly, imagine seeing Kiss in full makeup and gear with everything short of pyro in a 1,000-seat theater.
I know, man. I know.
That's unbelievable. I've seen Kiss in theaters before in clubs on the 92 Club Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing. Now, put makeup and boots and
Right.
this gear on. Gene's demon chess piece is just badass. So it's just the coolest. And you talk to like-minded people, and people were doing deals and trades and all sorts of vinyl discussions. And Julian was there with his books, and Ken Sharp was there. It's everything rolled into one.
It's like a big giant Facebook group in real life.
Yes, without the drama.
Without the drama. Without the drama. Yeah.
And there was a naked guy walking around apparently too.
Nice.
Just add that in. So.
Someone snapped a picture of the guy outside the elevator. He did have a T-shirt, but that's it. And he looked a little. So if that's your thing, you got that going on too.
Oh well,
No,
that
thanks.
I am sold.
So and then the last night was the Ace Theater show, which I almost forgot. So Ace outside was great.
Mm-hmm.
Something about being inside in the smaller theater, the Stardust, just made it that much better. I went down to the pit for that one, and the guys from Gene's band, or Ace's band now, whatever you want to call it, were having the time of their lives. You can see they know these songs. They love these songs. They're up there.
Yeah.
The harmonies are great. They're playing along great. Ace is having a blast. And anybody that's a Kiss fan that has seen the band outside of the country or has seen any of the bootlegs or stuff on YouTube, you know that, especially in South America, the fans sing along to the guitar solos. And here you have a whole row of people, had to be 20 people from, I'm not sure if it was Brazil or Chile or wherever they were from. He pulls out Shock Me, he plays Shock Me. They're singing along to the solo, and they're jumping up and down, overpowering the guitar.
Oh, wow.
And you can see Ace looking out and smiling and laughing.
He's going,
yeah,
puppy.
He was totally into it. And one of the cool things is, one of the many cool things is, besides all the Kiss stuff, there's many other bands that are on there. And one band that was on McGee Entertainment is Vintage Trouble. And they had played on the pool deck and put on a phenomenal show. But now to see them in the theater, they come out. They're like a Motown blues sort of rock kind of thing. Not exactly what you'd see with the Kiss crowd. So the theater for Ace is full. Right? Every seat is full, and everybody's sitting, as they do for an opening band, in most cases. The lead singer got out there into the crowd multiple times, and by the end of the show, that entire place was standing up and dancing. I mean, really getting into the show. They were incredible. I went out and I picked up 2 of their CDs.
Oh, wow.
As soon as I got, and again, it's not Kiss, it's not hard rock or heavy metal, but it's damn good music.
Sure.
And they are absolutely worth checking out. They are really, really good. And that's one of the other cool things there is you're exposed to other bands, other music that you may walk away with an appreciation for. So, again, I can't say it enough. You get multiple cups for the cat.
Multiple cups.
And they ain't free, and you got to get there early because by 9 o'clock in the morning, they go on sale at 9. By 9:30, most of them are gone. At multiple bars around the boat, and there's the Gathering Cup.
Oh, cool.
You can see it. But, if there's a Kiss thing being handed out, everybody flocks to whatever that is. Yeah. And really, it's the time of your life as a Kiss fan, and you make great connections with people that you can trade stuff with, that you can see again at other shows or next year on the cruise. And, honestly, it's just an experience that you really need to have.
It's awesome, Mike.
So I know I've gone on and babbled extensively about it, but it is that.
That's cool. What I asked you to do.
Yeah, it's cool because there's obviously a lot of negative people talking about the cruise online now. So it's cool to hear someone who actually had a good time, because I had a good time on both the ones that I went on.
From what you remember.
Well, there was just that one night is the only time I actually blacked out. I was drunk the whole time, but that one night's the only night I blacked out.
Well,
I'll tell you a funny off the air story when we're done. I'll tell you a funny off the air story.
And then we'll stream it. The greatest show on earth.
Make it the greatest.
Come on, it's a good thing. Listen, I'm not saying it because I'm friends with Andrew. Check out the greatest show on earth. It really is very cool.
Yeah,
it's something it should have done. And
I don't even like Andrew, and I tell you to go check it out.
He's like poor man Paul McCartney right there. Yeah, but look at him, lovable little fella. But honestly, it's really good work. And what a great way to kick. I'm sitting on my flight with some strange behemoth of a woman next to me making odd noises. And I'm watching on my iPad. Oh, she was. She was like snoring and choking. I don't know. She might have died.
Gurgling.
But and I'm like, man, this is getting me psyched up. And it was really well done, really well put together. And then, again, I called it a Kiss experience because it was all things Kiss. And then even on the plane home, I'm in the airport. Tommy and Eric walk by. And then there's Bruce, down the other end of where the gates were. And then I'm on the plane with people I don't know, but they all have Kiss gear, and we're clearly on the cruise. They're all wearing their Paul Stanley Pumas, and
dude, I love those.
My mine should be here in a week. I wouldn't have bought them before. Now I'm back into all things Kiss, and thanks to Jason here, I'm buying vinyl left and right.
It is his fault. It is his fault.
I'm looking at it like, ooh, orange vinyl. I don't need orange vinyl, but yet now I will have orange vinyl.
You need orange vinyl.
That's the voice in my head. Don't worry about the bills. The kids can eat ramen for a year. Get the Kiss vinyl.
Get the Kiss vinyl. It's only $30.
I can't fucking help myself, man. And I've worked in the music industry for so long, and I've been in, worked in for a vinyl distributor for 8 years now. I just can't. I can't help myself.
Because there's nothing cooler. When we all go back to those little kids, when you hold that album, that artwork meant to be on an album that size, not on a CD jacket.
No,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's it, man. I've said it a million times on this podcast. Is I know a lot of my friends, Nicholas, everything Kiss. He's, he doesn't care anything about vinyl, but he has a massive Kiss collection. But to me, when I came into this thing, the original Kiss collectible was the record, and all the goodies that came with it, and I've never gotten away from that. I just love it. When I sold my very large Kiss collection in 1999 to
Peter
Arquette, thank you, Andrew, I sold everything but my vinyl, other than my personalized stuff.
Yeah.
So
Kiss panties.
Yeah, my Kiss panties, Paul's underwear.
Yeah. Skid mark and all.
Yeah.
There's something about the albums, because that's what, Andrew, I know
that's why we're all here, though. It's because of the records.
The music that was on the records.
Yeah.
But then that kid, you mentioned you went to Creatures was your first show. Creatures was my third or fourth album, but that's when I realized there was no Santa. And I opened up that album like a week before Christmas because my parents were lazy, wrapped everything, stuck it under the tree, and they're like, "Oh, they're empty boxes. Santa will fill them." So, there's something magical about looking at that album, smelling the vinyl. There's a certain smell to it, and then you pull out that jacket and you put on those days the big old headphones, and sort of like that, yeah. And then you just read every little bit, like who did what on what song, what guy got coffee, what guy wiped his ass in this drum fill, everything, and it. You religiously read that and understand it, and can quote it years later. Nowadays, you download an album, you get nothing. You might get a digital booklet, but nobody's going to look at that. So
I do.
Going back to the vinyl, how many versions of these albums do I need? I only need one. How many will I have? Everyone they'll give me.
Everyone.
Yeah, that's it, man. I am their core demographic for purchasing. Not that Kiss has anything to do with these recent vinyl issues that are coming out. If they put it out and it's remotely cool and it's on vinyl, I'm gonna buy it. So yeah.
I don't blame you. It looks very cool. And to that, the bootlegs. I know bootlegs are a part of this to some degree.
Yeah.
The bootleg packages that have come out.
I've got them all.
Super cool.
Are like, I know they're not official. I know the band is not a fan and that sort of thing. But man, do they get it right sometimes?
Sometimes
they really do. It looks
these European box sets that have come out are mind-bogglingly great. So I've got them all.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I have them in my collection, and I have no room, as you can see back here. There's 2 other rooms in the house filled with stuff like this that I have to go through, and then there's stuff in the attic. And you remember the Kiss M&Ms from Walmart back in
I've got them out here.
I'm just gonna say they don't do well in a hot attic for 9 years.
No, of course.
So, I've got 4 bags up there of this brownish powder, and my wife goes, "Oh, you gotta throw that out." I go, "No, it's sealed. It's Kiss. I'm not gonna eat it, but it's Kiss." So that's the lunacy that we all share,
Yeah.
and thankfully so.
I'll probably pull them out of the tub I've got them stored in, and they'll have some kind of critters inside of the bags or something.
I got empty
Luckily,
bags. I got empty
right
bags.
out.
Yeah.
And those are the same things where then I went to Walmart after the fact, and I go, "Can I have those cardboard display boxes?" And they're like, "They're gonna go in the garbage for you." And the little old lady there handed me 3 of them. So I have the big M&M boxes sitting in the attic, and then on the way home, stopped at 7-Eleven and convinced the guy working there to give me the posters and things that went into the soda machine.
Yeah.
The sickness. It's sickness.
It is. But
It really is.
It's a cool sickness.
And I would never part with that stuff. A few things I've sold over the years. We all have 3 and 4 of everything.
Yeah. That's right.
I might have a few things to pay for the next cruise because I do want another guitar and I want another bass. I don't know if my bank account wants that, but we'll have to see how that goes.
No.
But it's
all right. Let's wrap it up then. So, Mike, that was a great.
That was a great.
I'm
Like,
so glad that you went through it day by day. That was so cool, And
I want to go on the cruise now again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's convinced me. So, but man, this sun has been in my eyes for like the last 30 minutes.
I see. You're like you've been moving away. You keep moving away. It's pretty funny.
We'll have to find something to put up here or something, or
Yeah.
Put some vinyl.
Yeah. Kiss blinds.
Yeah, Kiss blinds. I need some. There's a blind there, but it's still coming right through it. So,
Right through.
But anyway, Mike, thank you for coming on, sharing your story.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Yes.
I'm always happy to have to hear positive information about the band and experiences and stuff. Thank you for doing that. Andrew
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on, guys.
So, you got anything else, Andrew?
No.
Okay. You're a dork.
Greatest show on
We'll
earth.
see you. We'll see you on the next one.